Multimodal, mixture of experts, open source, open weight family of models Llama 4 was released this week by Meta. We got served three sizes of models. We have the Behemoth, which is still work in progress. We have the Maverick, the medium-sized model, and the Scout, the smallest one. The Behemoth is a total of 2 trillion parameters, which is a huge model, 288 billion active parameters, and 16 experts. The Maverick is 17 billion active parameters, 128 experts, and 400 billion total parameters, with the context window of 1 million, which is pretty competitive in today's AI world. And we have the Scout, the smallest one, at once again 17 billion active parameters. This time we have the 16 experts and 109 billion total parameters, with a huge context window of 10 million. But as good as they say, well, according to the needle in a haystack benchmark presented by them, always able to successfully retrieve the necessary information. But when you really start to check it out, it's not as good. For example, according to Fiction Live Bench, my new favorite bench when it comes to long context testing. In fact, Llama 4 sits down there at the bottom. We have the Maverick Free with the accuracy level of 56 at 400 context window, which is already horrible, and it drops down to 36.4 at 120,000. We have the Scout Free, which repeats the pattern. At 400, we can see 52 accuracy rate, which drops to 27.3 at 120,000. And you might say those scores are really low, and why would it be so different from the needle in a haystack? Well, that's really simple, because this benchmark deliberately designs hard questions that test understanding of a subtext rather than just information that can be searched for. Okay, we have the context window handled. What about the benchmarks? Well, in fact, Llama 4 Maverick was able to get to a second place with 1400 ELO on the Llama benchmarks in a few days after the release, which is incredibly impressive, right? Because LM Arena is based on the opinion of people after they compare side by side the models anonymously. And there's no way to buy it. Well, that's what I thought as well. Well, apparently Meta found out a way to cheese the benchmarks a little bit. What you see here, Llama 4 Maverick Experimental, is not the actual Maverick, but rather an imposter that was optimized for human preference. In result, LM Arena needed to change their policy as Meta's interpretation of their policy did not match what we expect from model providers. Now let's put the controversy aside and take a further look at the benchmarks. While the model actually seems to be putting out really impressive benchmarks, here we can see the Maverick has a very competitive price per 1 million input sockets, 19 cents to 50 cents, which puts at a great place compared to other models. We see its accuracy 73.7 on the Math Vista, and we see its pretty decent performance on the Live Code bench, 43.4. In fact, the benchmarks results are so good that they've been accused of training on a test set. And as they say, that's simply not true, and they would never do that, right? Just like they would never put out a different model that's optimized for human preference. But as we can see, a lot of evidence is stacking up, and it's not on the Meta side. The community itself does not seem to be incredibly amazed by the model. In fact, a lot of people seem to be disappointed with Llama 4. For example, we can see that it fails completely in a very embarrassing way, if you ask me, the classical hexagon coding with Paul's example. We can see here both Llama 4, Scout, and Maverick fail. I also run a classical how many R's are in a strawberry test, and we can see both Scout and Maverick failed. With that being said, I don't think we need to dismiss Llama 4 yet. Also, as they mentioned, is that the variable quality people are seeing is due to needing to stabilize implementation. I'm not sure what exactly that means, but let's give them some time and see what they can come up with. It's also an open weight model, so if people twist it a little bit, maybe we'll see great results. And we also should remember that a huge behemoth model is coming in. I truly appreciate any feedback on this video as I'm trying to deliver the best content I possibly can. It was Christian here. Thank you for watching. Leave a like, comment, and follow this channel to stay up to date with the AI world. See you in the next one.